A long time ago in the land of Egypt, God's people, the Israelites, had become a great nation. They were once honored guests, but now they were treated like slaves. A new Pharaoh ruled the land, and he was afraid of the Israelites. So he forced them to work day and night, building cities and lifting heavy stones. The people cried out to God for help, and God heard them. One day a baby boy was born into an Israelite family. His mother saw that he was special, and to save him from Pharaoh's cruel order to kill baby boys, she placed him in a basket and gently set it afloat down the Nile River. Pharaoh's daughter found the baby, took pity on him, and named him Moses. She raised him in the palace as if he were her own son. Moses grew up watching the suffering of his people. One day, after trying to help and getting into trouble, he fled far away into the desert. There he became a shepherd and tried to forget Egypt, but God had not forgotten him. While watching his sheep, Moses saw something strange. A bush was on fire, but it didn't burn up. As he came closer, he heard a voice. "Moses, take off your sandals. You are standing on holy ground." It was God. He told Moses, "I have heard the cries of my people. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring them out of Egypt." Moses was afraid. "But who am I to do that?" he asked. God said, "I will be with you." So Moses went back to Egypt, and with his brother Aaron, he stood before Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go." But Pharaoh laughed and said, "No." So God sent signs and wonders, plagues, to show his power. The Nile River turned to blood. Frogs covered the land, and came gnats, flies, and sickness that struck the animals. People broke out in painful sores. Hail fell like fire from the sky. Locusts swarmed and ate the crops. Darkness covered the land so thick you could feel it, but Pharaoh still said no. Then came the final plague. God warned that the firstborn son in every Egyptian household would die. But he gave the Israelites special instructions. They were to take a lamb, kill it, and paint its blood on their doorposts. That night, when the angel passed through Egypt, it would see the blood and pass over their homes. That night was the first Passover. The next morning, Egypt was filled with mourning. Pharaoh called for Moses and said, "Go, take your people and leave." So the Israelites gathered their things in haste and left Egypt. But soon Pharaoh changed his mind and sent his army after them. As the Israelites stood trapped between Pharaoh's chariots and the Red Sea, they were terrified. But God told Moses to stretch out his staff. The wind blew, and the sea parted. Walls of water rose up on both sides, and the people walked through on dry ground. When Pharaoh's army followed, the sea crashed back down and swallowed them. God had rescued his people. In the desert, God led the Israelites with a cloud by day and fire by night. When they were hungry, he sent manna from heaven. When they were thirsty, he brought water from a rock. He took care of them. At Mount Sinai, God came down in fire and smoke, and Moses climbed the mountain to meet him. There, God gave the 10 Commandments, 10 beautiful rules to help his people live in love and peace. But while Moses was away, the people grew impatient. They made a golden calf to worship, forgetting the God who saved them. Moses was heartbroken, but God showed mercy. God asked them to build a special tent called the tabernacle, a place where he would live among them. And they did just as he said. And so the people set out on a long journey toward the land God had promised, with God himself leading the way, never leaving them, never forgetting them.